Welcome back to Two Brothers Sports Podcast presented by Ramble on Sports.com. Brain is moving a little slow. It is Wednesday, March 27th, and we are recovering from a very long weekend, but a fantastic weekend of basketball. As you can see, Max, the question I'm going to ask is hurt or injured. I think I'm good to keep going, but if my voice gives out at any point, I know you can just go solo because we got a lot to catch up on. Obviously, first two rounds. We got opening day coming this weekend, so we're going to talk a little shit on the NL Central as Sean's not here, so he has no opportunity to defend himself. But that just means he has to come on next week. And then I think we got a little bit of fight stuff this weekend as well.
Just a wee bit. Atlantic City fight night. Um, Good co-main in main event, but yeah.
Love it, love it. And it's just the two brothers this weekend or this week. Just me and Max here, so we're gonna talk a little shop and catch up on what we like going forward because we got games Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday again. Just not as many games, so it starts at 7, I believe. But yeah, a lot to catch up on. I mean, you want to just get into it, or any overall comments you want to say on the weekend?
No, dude, very solid. Thursday was rough. Friday, Saturday, I said fuck the parlays and did very solid. Um,
Yep.
but yeah, my upsets didn't go the way I wanted. I picked every wrong upset besides JMU, but we can get into that. Now ready to talk shop and ready for another great weekend.
Let's go. Let's go. I love it.
Tuesday as we're recording, and I'm saying I'm ready for the weekend.
I know. I'm right there with you. Yeah, let's just start with Thursday. Thursday. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Feels like a while ago. But also before I do that, I want to shout out the boy Grayson. We had a great bachelor party weekend in NOLA. So that's why I am as down bad. Because not only was it March Madness first weekend, it was also Grayson's bachelor party. And shout out all the other boys. Had a great time. So yeah, we got to watch a lot of basketball. Was able to catch the end of the JMU Duke's first round game, which we'll get into. But yeah, overall good weekend. And it started with Thursday. So starting early. I guess I mean, we got to talk Oakland, Kentucky, right? Like that's got to be the first one off the bat. Like we'll go Thursday, but we can talk about the whole day. And I think there's nothing better to talk about than the team that is Oakland.
Yeah, I think leading up to that game, there really wasn't any surprises. So yeah, um, Oakland, fucking Golke, just absolutely insane. I have never like, granted, like Steph Curry. I vaguely remember I was still pretty, not like crazy young, but like I have a lot of shit that's happened since then, so it's pushed back. But like that was just like an insane performance, making quite about everything from the craziest angles and craziest shots. Just fucking crazy game, and glad I didn't have Kentucky too far.
Yeah, I did. I had him in the final four, and I couldn't have been more mad. Sean and I were both big on Kentucky on Thursday, and we were honestly, it was one of those games where everyone else that you're with who's not betting on Kentucky or just not betting on the game or just not betting in general, they are loving this game. This is why they watch March Madness. Three of us in the group, me and Sean and one other, we were absolutely down bad. And it was very tough to watch because you wanted to root for it so bad, but we had, money on the game. And so it was like every single time he'd come around and pick, I was like, what are we doing here? Like, how are we not guarding this guy better? And even his contested shots were just outrageous. I mean, every single time it went up, you're like, oh God, here, what are we gonna do here? And what's crazy is he went 10 for 20 from three and only two free throws, and that was it. Just that's the 32 points. Man does not shoot two pointers. He barely shoots free throws. And yeah.
What was it? He only shot like six fucking within the three this whole season.
Yeah, yep. I think it was 6 or 7. And it's just like, what the hell? Like, how do you not have that on the scouting?
200. Yeah. It's not
And
like
like
he was a random guy that went off. He shot a good amount all season
Yeah.
or decent.
And like this is so what I was getting pissed about is that I don't understand how the fuck Calipari doesn't know that there's a 2-3 zone, like that they're playing a 2-3 zone. Can't they couldn't beat the 2-3 zone and they were playing like I don't know what they were doing against Oakland. Like I don't know what they were doing defensively. To be fair, they've been terrible all year defensively. So, bound to happen. But not only did Golke go off, but like their best player this season, Trey Townsend, had 17 points, 12 rebounds, 4 assists, and only one turnover. And he was the Horizon Player of the Year. And like he wasn't even the main guy, but he still had a day. And it's just like just looking at it,
And he
you're
made
like,
some clutch shots.
you know, and it's one of those things where you're like, all right, well, let's look at those guys. They combined for 49 points. Hey, let's look at the two best, maybe players going forward for NBA draft potential. And we're looking at Reed Shepherd, 3 points, 1 of 5 from the field, 1 of 3 from three-pointer. He averages like 13 points a game, 4 and 4 from the assist and rebound. And then you got Dillingham, who goes 10 points, 2 of 9, and 2 of 6 from three. He averages 15 and a half points a game, 3 assists, and 4 rebounds. Like terrible. Like just honestly terrible. And it was frustrating to watch from someone who had money on Kentucky, but at the same time, you could appreciate the beauty that is a 14 over three. So
Yeah.
I probably didn't enjoy it as much as you did, Max.
Yeah, I snuck in like a plus 150 while I think like 6 other guys I was with all had Kentucky
Yeah.
and double downed at like plus 100 or some shit. So I was very silent when they were all screaming.
Yeah.
And I let them know, but apparently they didn't hear me. But yeah, it was great Saturday or Thursday. Jesus Christ. I took that money, went right to NC State. And I think a lot of people kind of knew, maybe not many, but I feel like most people kind of had that happening.
Yep. I think I had that in the bracket. It was hard not to take Texas Tech, but after taking NC State and they won that game, I was very happy. They played really well. I mean, speaking of 11 seeds, you had Oregon beating South Carolina, Duquesne beating BYU too. Like, how about the
Yeah, dude,
man?
I know that is wild. The only one that didn't, but we'll get to that. Yeah, I guess I did say we didn't have much leading up to that, but did forget. The way I have it is Oregon's after Kentucky and stuff, but that was like one of the first couple games. So
Yeah, fair, fair.
Maine Cousignard or however
Yep.
you pronounce
Yep,
it,
James. Yeah.
absolute steal of our draft.
Yeah. On fire. 90 some points or something like that. Like
Yeah, I'll take that with the 2 games.
him
But yeah,
and Paulie Dante for Oregon too. Dante
yeah,
was a monster.
very true. That Dayton Nevada game was wild. That
Yeah.
come
Yep. Yep. The date. Yep. I wrote that down as well. Coming back from 17 down with 7:37 left. Like, come on.
solid
It's
stuff. It was a very good first day.
yeah. The thing with Oregon too is like when Couisnard started going off and they mentioned that he was a South Carolina transfer, I was like, oh, like no shit, this is happening, man. Like I wish I had known that. Not that
Yeah,
he was going to go off, but like the fact that they had some extra little incentive there. I also
yeah,
couldn't go against South Carolina based on the bachelor party group, so had
yeah.
to ride.
Understood for sure.
But yeah, overall good game. Duquesne looked real good against BYU. We'll get to how they looked in round two here later, but great win on their part. Good little run by those guys, and I mean, the only other thing I'd mention is that Gonzaga looked really, really good against McNeese State, and I had McNeese, and I know I talked about it on the pod. So hand up, I actually, and you know what, Max? Not only was I fading Gonzaga, you know who I was on the train for? St. Mary's. So let's get into Friday.
Yeah,
I know this isn't chronological because this is like the very last game of the night, but Grand Canyon beating St. Mary's, not beating them, just like basically handling them the entire game. I knew there was a chance that, St. Mary's could not, there's a chance that they might not be able to slow certain teams down because of how slow they play. Sometimes, when you play like a UVA, it's hard to, sometimes teams just get the best of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, Grand Canyon looked really, really good against St. Mary's. So hats off to them. And that was a Sweet 16 prop that I fell on my face with. So
Thanks, Sean. You got us
yeah,
all excited.
yep. Yeah.
Nah, it's not his fault. We're the ones that picked it.
Oh, yeah. No,
Um,
I was on St. Mary's and when we talked about it, I was like, oh, yeah, if we're all doing it then.
I wasn't quite. I would have had them lose, not losing first round, but second instead of going on. But it is what it is. Let's talk about anything before Yale, before we
Yeah,
get to your squad. Yale over
we can wrap
Auburn. Yeah, that's a big one. Yale looked very solid. Auburn, I had that little tickle in the back of my throat thinking that there was a chance. But I had Auburn going, I believe, Sweet 16. So that was unfortunate for me and just not what we like to see, but we also like to see it.
Yep. Yep. No, I had a Yale UAB money line parlay. Uh that would have been awesome. It would have been like I'd probably still be in New Orleans or I'd be in Vegas or something if I had won that. Probably be
We'd be
retired.
on the second game on Sunday, but wouldn't have had fun.
Oh, I know. Yeah, yeah. That's okay. But yeah, Yale. I mean, Yale rolled. It was one of those things where I just like listening, like the more I just talked to like we were at the bars on Thursday and we're talking to random people, like we met some Auburn people and like everyone was on Auburn so much where I was like, okay, like I know I liked Auburn a lot too, but now I'm thinking about it. I played that Yale thing. I wish I just played Yale on its own, but yeah, I mean, nothing really major aside from the Yale Auburn game, the Grand Canyon, and then um Clemson. Uh
Yeah, I was gonna say I got a quick hand up for that
yeah,
one.
yeah, go ahead. Hand up. Do it.
I just hand up. Thought New Mexico was better, and I thought Clemson was way worse. Granted, I probably only watched their one game this season, and it was in ACC tourney, um, which they did solid in, but still, like I don't know, just didn't think they had it. But ACC is slowly and steadily just dominating this tourney.
Yeah, no, they really are. It's what did they say? There's like seven, potentially they could have seven of eight Elite Eights or something like that. I don't know if I read that right. Or
They have
six
like
to eight.
they have like
Like the two of them
25% of
combined.
this
There's like
Sweet
ACC
16.
and Big East.
Yeah,
I think that's what it was.
they have like 25% of the Sweet 16 or whatever, or
Yeah,
maybe more. I don't know,
pretty,
whatever it is. But yeah,
pretty.
uh, nothing else other than that. I think we could probably go to Saturday, right?
I don't know. Not so fast, my friend. Not so fast. Yeah, dude. Obviously I had them winning that first round game. I think I would be, in JMU fanhood hell if I didn't. But they came
Patrick,
out and smacked him in the fucking mouth. They came out in Wisconsin. They said, "Hey, we're gonna play like Wisconsin, but we're gonna smack you in the mouth." Came out well. Team was hitting, and honestly, like really was ahead of them for pretty much the whole game. I think overall they looked good. Um, was able to catch some JMU fans in New Orleans who were at the sports book, being able to celebrate that win. But yeah, I mean, looked good, and I was really pumped going into Sunday. I thought we had a really good chance about beating Duke, and I just I'm really happy that they won. I think it's huge for the program. I think a lot of people were on JMU. Um, so to see that, I think I actually know a decent bit of people that did go to the first round game in Brooklyn, just like different ads and stuff. So
I'm
Cool
gonna
to see
send
that.
you after this, dude.
Huh?
I'm gonna send you a video after of Patrick.
Oh,
It's
let's
funny,
go. Yeah,
but
I want to see that. It was just cool to see a bunch of JMU fans there and celebrating the win. And Wisconsin was on a hot streak, man. Like I know people that were putting Wisconsin pretty far, and I wanted to. I honestly, if they weren't playing JMU, I probably would have had them at least in a Sweet 16, maybe even a potential Elite Eight, just the way that they play and the athletes they have. So, um, really proud of
yeah,
the way JMU played, and shout out the coach who has already, I mean, he's already gone. He's going to Vanderbilt. Not to spoil the fact that they lost to Duke on Sunday, so their season's over. Um, Not much else on Friday's game, but we looked really good and it was really, enjoyable to do. And then I'll just touch real quick on Sunday. Right from the get-go, Duke just out physicaled us, outplayed us on top of shooting an unreal number from three. The clip was, I don't even remember. I think they were shooting like 40 some percent at some point. Jared McCain on fire with 30 points. No one could stop Filipkowski. And it was one of those games where you're just like, this is why, for right now, JMU is still where they're at. But at the same time, um, a lot to look forward to. And I think there's going to be a lot of dudes transferring and leaving because the coach is leaving. But I think a lot of people put JMU on the map, not only now for football, but for basketball. So, dude, get that AD a raise. Please don't let our AD go to fucking bigger school. I mean, I don't want to be a stepping stone, but we may have to be to get to, the next level. We might have to do that for a few years. So, um, yeah, shout out the Dukes. Always proud to be a Duke. I was this close to switching my flight around. I had it in my cart. I had the flights in my cart at 1 o'clock in the morning on Sunday. And I was gonna just switch my flight and go to Brooklyn. So almost did it. Would have been awesome, but I just had to watch from home and watch that. And in hindsight, it worked out okay because I would have been pretty miserable because I feel pretty terrible still right now. I'm still recovering, but imagine going to that game and then taking another flight. Like, oh god,
yeah,
would have been banana lands. But yeah, so that's
definitely.
JMU stuff. We don't have to get too much into it if there's anything else you want to kind of add on. But really, I love our team this year, man. I just wish that they could have kept going.
Yeah, no, definitely. And came out earlier today. You lost your coach, so that kind of sucks. But maybe he'll be able to snag a solid guy from like a mid-major as well.
I mean, even some of these like not like a Grand Canyon, but I don't know, like some of these like smaller kind of schools of teams that made the tournament and still did well.
I'll, I'll say real quick, WV. I mean, we got a Drake guy, very well known, solid coach. Just brought them to what four of the last or three of the last four tourneys.
Yep.
Um, 150 and 55 record with Drake. So
Yep.
he, I'm happy about. You can definitely grab someone like that.
I think to JMU's credit, they have a good fan base, and I feel like we're growing. So if there's someone who wants to be a part of that, and I think look long term, I think we could get the right person. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a really good like D3 or D2 coach. Not that that's ideal, but I wouldn't be surprised if we tried to get someone like that who is like, hey, I'm from, Virginia, I'm from Charlottesville, Stanton, Virginia Beach, Northern Virginia, wherever. Like I want to stick around and like build the program up while we kind of grow. So like maybe we can find someone like that. We'll see.
Yeah, you
Uh,
will.
yep. So we'll see there. Last thing on Friday, Northwestern, FAU, great game, and then Northwestern just blew them out in overtime. So shout out,
Yeah,
Bo Bowie. It's good to see him get a win.
in Langford
Yep, for sure. So, yep. On to Saturday.
on to Saturday.
Um, Highlight is just really, for the most part, it's just favorites day. Everyone who was favored won. I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
Whether they covered, I think that might be a little different story,
NC
but
State did not.
I know Tennessee did
And a
not.
half.
Yeah, Tennessee did not cover either. And that one was a dagger.
That's
That one
five.
tore my heart out. And I even bought a
For the
point.
only two I didn't hit. I went 5 for 7 on Saturday.
Yeah. So crazy. Let's see.
And
Anything,
no,
nothing really major, honestly, on Saturday. The NC State game's really the only one. Creighton, Oregon.
yeah, I mean, dude, that game actually was fucking wild. I was
Mm.
at River City watching it. Just no one, everyone else was out talking to other people, and I was just standing outside, staring at the TV, just praying. Oh my God, dude, rough. And it was only 3.5, and so
Yeah.
like just getting to that double overtime, and they took over. Yeah, it was very, very good for me.
Yeah.
I'm very happy.
That one I actually stayed away from. And then I almost bet it like three different times in overtime. And I was like, "Ah, I'm good, I'm good, I'm good." And I just
That
went
was
with,
my biggest unit of the day, and it was very scary.
yeah, I had like an NC State, UNC, Tennessee parlay. That was like my big win for the day. And then, oh, I had a very fun, I had to because you get DJ Burns and Jack Golke and Trey Townsend. Uh, in Oakland, NC State, I had a like Jack Golke over 4.5 three, Burns over 12.5 points, and like um Townsend over 14.5 points with the over at like 140, I think.
Yeah,
And that was a really good parlay. Like that was like plus 380. And it because of that overtime, I hit the over, but like otherwise I would not have hit it. So I was that game, those were my two big wins on Saturday.
yeah, and I'll just yeah, Gonzaga beating the shit out of Kansas like that was kind of crazy. I figured they were gonna win, but
That second half was just a rout.
who really was?
Yeah. So
Zaga's rolling, dude. There's a chance.
you know who else is rolling, who I wasn't sure about, and they just look really goddamn good right now is Illinois.
Yeah, they
So
do. And Iowa State looked solid, but
yeah,
I
yeah, they look good. They look good. They weren't on
don't
the
think Washington State's that great of a team.
yep. Yep, that's fair. And then Sunday, let's get to Sunday. So we already talked about JMU, so we're just gonna bypass that. Um, I mean, Purdue and UConn just absolutely dominated. So, on to the next
Yeah,
round for them. What other takeaways did you have?
I mean, I don't know. I think we kind of saw how legit. Granted, Yale maybe just coming off a high and just didn't show out as much, but I think San Diego State looked fantastic.
Yeah,
They kind of are rolling right now. Bama can shoot if they're hitting. They can kind of beat almost anyone if they're hitting their threes.
yep,
Um, and then Clemson, are they just going to be that mid seed that makes it to the Final Four? I mean, I had NC State, but I know they won't be playing each other until it would be. I think it had to be the championship, but they're really just going to keep rolling. I mean, they just made Baylor look silly. Baylor couldn't score. They were one of the best offenses in the nation. I mean, it was crazy.
dude. Yeah, it was one of those games where I was like, kind of like JMU ended, I think, and that game was on, and it was like, oh, that game started like maybe like towards the end of the JMU game, and I'm like sitting there watching it, and I'm just like, am I watching this right? Like Baylor is getting outmanned. They don't
Yeah,
get outmanned by like anyone. The only game I remember them being outmanned was that Houston game where they went into overtime. And I mean, like they were lucky to get back in that game, but like that's the only game I seen them get outmanned. They're a very like good, solid defensive team, tough team.
yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
So
No,
yeah, I mean, Houston. kind of another one that I mean, A&M was a good team, but took them to
They
overtime.
gave him a game, man. They gave him a game.
Yeah, could be could be a rough one next round.
You're not wrong, my friends. You are not wrong. All right. Well, now that we've recapped everything, let's get into the Sweet 16s. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right. Sweet 16 presented by presenting sponsor, I don't even know. Exelon. I don't know.
My
We're
first thing I saw was
little.
Chick-fil-A. It's sponsored by Shade and Wise Breaking Company.
Yes, yes, there we go. I was gonna say we gotta have like some kind of little break in between the picks and the recap. So we'll do that. Little one shining moment. I don't think they can get mad at us for copywriting with that terrible rendition I just did. Um, but doesn't matter. Let's get in Sweet 16. Start at the top. Not top of the bracket, but just top of the day on Thursday. Clemson at Arizona. We know that's neutral site. But Arizona getting seven or not getting Arizona minus 7.5, over under 151.5. Max, what do you like? And based on our just last couple minutes, I think I know where you're going, but let's hear it.
Um, I do still kind of like Zona to win, not just for my bracket's sake, but I think they want to play and looking forward never is a good thing. Um, but I think they want to play UNC. They want to do it for love. They want to get there. So I think they can, their size, I mean, um, Balio,
Yep.
however you pronounce it. But I think this is a game he can just kind of go out there and just dominate. Little pick and roll action with Caleb. Uh, but I don't hate Clemson to cover at all. That sounds like a solid line that I will probably be taking.
you know what I was gonna try and look at? I don't even know if you can do it. I was gonna just try and see what like a same game parlay of plus 7.5 and the money line if we could actually.
Yeah, dude.
You actually can
Make
guess.
it even like fucking 10.5. Fuck it.
No, dude, actually, so you'd be surprised. So Clemson plus 7.5, same game parlay with Arizona money line. What do you think the odds are at?
Minus 110.
No, you gotta think
I
you
don't know.
got
You got me thinking it wasn't as good as I thought.
no, I think it's as good as you thought because you
I
got
don't
the
even know what the money line is.
money
What's
line's
their money
three
line?
money line's 310 plus 7.5 is minus 112. So
Oh,
you're in
so,
plus money.
oh yeah, so probably plus 165.
Plus 254.
What?
I know. I
Just
know.
like a minus 110
And
spread?
yep, plus 7.5 and minus 310. I don't know how
See,
that
that's what
math works,
doing
but
parlays for the past 4 days does to me. I don't even remember what parlays add up to.
well, no, usually I think two spreads equal the like if I did minus 112
Plus
minus
275.
yeah,
You,
exactly.
yeah,
But that's exactly
or 60.
that's my point. You
Yeah.
can
Okay. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
so that's awesome. Yeah, so I agree. So I completely agree with you. You know what I was gonna look at? I because I like Clemson cover, and I also I'm not gonna pick them outright, but I I might pick them outright. That's just because I'm so tired of seeing Zona lose, but they've looked good enough. So definitely gonna take the 7.5 and probably just keep it at that. Any feeling on the
Yeah.
over under?
What's it at? Sorry, I
Um,
don't have it pulled up. I just have my bracket.
151.5.
151.
Mhm.
I kind of like it. I think it would be close. It depends how good Clemson's defense is, honestly. Like, are they going to slow it down or are they going to just kind of try to match Zona and keep it fast? But I could see like 75, 83. Well, yeah, that would still be cover and that would still be in, right?
Oh yeah, that's like 161.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a little hesitant, but that's because so Clemson's defense, they average 72 points a game, and that like defensively, they allow 72 points a game. And then Arizona is only averaging 66.5 points a game. So I'm a little
Really?
hesitant, but I also
Yeah.
think that it's March Madness.
I've bet a lot of overs this first two rounds, and they seem to be hitting.
Right. So I'm thinking that maybe this sweep that everyone's gonna tighten up.
True.
That's
Better
kind of what I,
to narrow down. But I haven't even done like the crazy, like a 1 versus 16. I didn't do that. Like, but yeah, I see what you're saying for sure.
yeah. So I think, I mean, just like the one day we had a bunch of upsets, it's like then the next day we had all favorites win except for like one. And then now it's like, all right, we did have a lot of overs. Now I'm like, all right, defenses, now you're playing like defense. People have scouted you a little more. So
Right. They
that's
get
kind
a
of,
yeah, they get 4 or 5 days to watch you.
yeah, I wouldn't even hate, you know what I'd probably look at, and I'll just throw it up real quick just for the sake of it. Like I wouldn't hate like a plus 7.5 and an under like teaser. Like let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Sorry, I don't want to waste too much time. Like what, 7.5, so let's call it 4 points, so like 11.5, and then an under, so it's like 155.5. So Clemson 11.5 and under 155.5 is plus 126. I don't hate that because I think they should be able to keep it within 11. And I mean, that's like 78, 77 would still go under.
Yeah.
So I
It's
think that's kind of where I'm leaning, but hard not to take the overs. So I hear that. Let me see. Yeah, so that's what I got for Clemson. Anything else on that, or should we move to a rematch of last year's national title?
Let's do it.
So UConn is playing San Diego State. They are minus 11 and the over under 135.5. Let me just fire a couple off real quick. And so just I'll preface minus 330 is a lot of juice, so I get that. But halftime, full time, UConn is minus 330. And I think that is a great parlay piece. So let's say you like UNC money line, or like, and we'll get to that one. Or I mean, dude, even a Zona and that would still probably be a safe like minus 150. Like if you're trying to get something safe, like I think that's a pretty good bet, and you're not having to play with the lines on first half or second half.
That's
Uh,
true.
the other one I looked up, so I was looking at first half margins. UConn is the number two team in first half margins. They are plus 10 on the season on average, and it's their average first margin max, not even their total plus 10. They are on average 10 points above their team in every motherfucking first half. So that being said, UConn minus 6 first half. I like that. It's gonna be like 22-12. I shit you not. It's gonna
Yeah.
first half will be 22-12. Um, and so we're gonna take that. And then one other one. UConn team total over 73.5 is minus 115. That might be my biggest play of the entire weekend because yes, San Diego State's defense, very good. Don't get me wrong there. They are. But you look at UConn, they average, let me fucking pull it up. God damn it. Uh,
What the fuck is Hester getting
they
into?
average 80, they average 85 points a game, and San Diego State lets up 69.3 points per game. So all UConn has to do is score 4 points over the average that San Diego State allows. Great defense, looked very good so far this year, like this tournament. UAB, it was pretty close. And then you had Yale, who I think just ran out of gas. And I do think that San Diego State has a lot of talent. So but I don't think I don't know if there's anyone beat UConn the way they're looking. Honestly, like I think at this point, like I can't even put it in a future that's worth it. But I think they roll. I think I think no matter, see, I like the over 73.5 because they might not cover 11. They might not cover first half spread, but there's no way that they don't score 74 points in this game. No way. So I know they might know something, but I had to get those off my chest because UConn's rolling. So why aren't we just doubling down on everything that they can bet on? Like, seriously.
Yeah, no, I'll probably take their spread, honestly. I think they're so
Yeah.
shit. Just take a poop. But I do love that first half, and I'll probably take that as well. But yeah, they're just gonna poop on them.
Yeah. Yeah. They're so deep. They got guys that can score. I don't know if anyone's stopping Donovan Clingan. Oh, yeah. They got Carabin. They got Stephon Castle, Tristan Newton. I mean, Cam Spencer. I mean, dude, it is like they are set. They got seven dudes that might be able to start at pretty much any other program, too. Like, you know what I'm saying? They might be eight dudes deep that
Yeah,
could start at any other program. So,
definitely.
yeah, I'm all about that. But those are the plays I like. So, a sprinkle maybe. This is kind of like some psycho shit, but UConn to be leading by 16 points or more at the end of the first half is plus 450. So,
Damn.
hilarious, dude. If they're just ass kicking 22 to 12, I just need 28 to 12 and we're good. Um, so we'll see.
Right.
Yeah. Um, awesome. Bama UNC, next game on the docket. UNC -4 over under 173.5. Max, where are you going?
Um, yeah, I think they kind of handle Bama with ease. They being UNC. I don't know. Bama, pretty much like I said, just needs to hit their threes, but I think UNC's got a kind of good pace against Bama and they can keep it going. Make Bama kind of put up stupid shots and miss those threes that they need to make, and they roll on to the next versus Zona.
I like that. Let's see, what did I have?
Probably
Ooh,
the over. Well,
I'm
that's a
seeing
good over.
it is a good over. It's such a good over. And
That's like what was it at?
173.5. So about 87, 84 to 84. No, 87 to 87. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's a lot. So speaking of that, um, I don't know that Bama scores 87 points on UNC, but I think it could be close. But I've got under 86.5 team total for Bama, -145, under 85.5, plus 100. Reason I say that, the thing is Bama right now is a different Bama than I watched this like middle of the season, you know? And even like they didn't play that great in the conference tournament, but like UNC UNC hasn't let up over 86.5 since November 29th against UNC and they won or Tennessee, sorry, against Tennessee and they won 100 to 92.
Yeah.
They did allow it against UConn and Kentucky. Also, I'm looking at this dude. In the beginning of the season, UNC played Arkansas, Tennessee, UConn, Kentucky, Oklahoma before they even got to the rest of the. I mean, they played. Damn. Okay. They do allow some points down further, but I don't know. 86.5 is a lot of points for Bama. UNC could probably do it. I just think that I think this game will be close to that number, but I think I could see like I could see it being like 90 to like 84 or like 83 or like 95 to like 85. Like
Yeah.
I think they'll cover four, and I think it'll be like that, but I, I might just play the over though, because I'll be really mad at myself if this is like 100 to like 90 something and I bet the fucking under. So I think I'm gonna probably switch with you, but Bama under.
Yeah, no, that's solid. I don't hate it.
Where are you on Illinois, Iowa State?
Although Illinois looks pretty solid, um, I'm pretty much sticking with almost who I already have going forward. But um, Iowa State has looked solid. I think they know when to step it up and get shit going. Illinois has been rolling. Terrence Shannon has been class act, but I don't know. Uh, got to root for my Big 12 team, the only one I got left. So I
Yep,
think uh, I think they get it done, dude. They've been pretty much. Oh, Houston, sorry, I still not used to them
the
being in the Big.
absolute disrespect, Max.
Yeah, not used to it. I'm not used to it. But yeah, I think uh, I think they get it done. What are we looking at for lines wise? Again, I'm sorry, I just have my bracket pulled
No,
up.
you're good. Iowa State minus 1.5.
I like that. I was
Up
hoping
under of 146. Sorry, I didn't say that. But yeah.
46.
Yep.
I could see it being, yeah, like 74, 76.
Yep. I'm kind of leaning towards the over as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm torn as well. I'm going
Minus
Illinois.
1.5, I like a lot.
Yeah. I mean, you might, yeah, might as well go money line, but at the same time, you might as well get minus 110 instead of minus 125.
Yeah.
And that can be one. Um, it's just for
Yeah.
us to get close. Um, I will actually, I agree with you that I should probably stick with my original bets. Illinois is just like too good and they're plus 105. And so I'm just gonna hit that money line. Um, but I'm not gonna put a lot on it because I don't feel super confident on it. This will just be a nice little entertaining game. Like you said, Max, probably just an over game for me personally. Um, and yeah, mm, maybe not, but I don't know. That might be like a UNC Illinois UConn is like plus 266. Add in Arizona plus 384. Like that's I don't hate that. I don't hate that.
No.
Oh, how about this, Max? How about this one? We can both potentially win based on this one. Either to win by five or less plus 130.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if either team's gonna win by five or more. Or no,
Yeah.
it's six or more. So we get one through five. So
Right. Yeah. That's a good one.
I like that. So I think I honestly might just play that. And it's better than any of the odds that we just talked about.
Yeah.
Maybe that in an over. Ooh, we might let's cook one up for the fans. Um, let's see, where was I? Minus one. Oh, I don't think we can do that. Sorry. Anyways, that's all I got for that game. Anything else you got on that game? I mean, Terrence Shannon, the Coleman Hawkins, like they got a little squad. Iowa State's been rolling. Both teams are hot. It's a coin flip game, so I only have so much sharpness to give on that.
Yeah. No, that's about it. I'm kind
I'd
of
say
just going
I'd say if it
spread.
goes one way or the other, like if it goes more, like let's say it goes from like Illinois plus 3.5 or like 2.5, I'd probably play Illinois. But if it gets closer to like even, I'd probably start looking at Iowa State.
Yeah. That's fair.
Well, I guess that would happen actually at both at the same time. That was really dumb. Oh well, we'll forget I said that. Anyways, NC State Marquette. let's get on to that one. Marquette -6.5 and over under 151. Are you still riding NC State? Because I think you've been all over them, haven't you?
Yep. And I will be back for more. Nothing about Marquette has really impressed me. Um, so I think NC State, sure, you could say they might be starting to get tired after going 5 games in the ACC and now just keep going, really only having what, like a week break. Um,
That's that.
if that uh so I just dude again, that's just they got it, dude. They walking out with fucking their little ass trainer walking out with a massive fucking speaker on his shoulder, all of them just rapping going down the walkway. Like I they got it, dude. They got it. I just don't see them kind of giving it up. So they're moving on.
Yeah, yeah. And I think, oh, moving on. I fuck with that. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Damn. Okay. All right. I was gonna say I'm all over the 6.5, but that might be the only play I have for that game because I mean, UNC and Oakland were at like 133 at half or at the end of the game before overtime. Like like they were rolling, but I don't know that they had a ton of points against Texas Tech. So I'm not touching that over under with a 10-foot pole. But yep, all over NC State +6.5. Max, my one of my favorite parts about being in a state, not just New Orleans, but North Carolina does it too. Being in a state with player props, DJ Burns. I mean, I could probably get him an NIL deal with the money that I want on him on those player props in New Orleans and fucking North Carolina. So yeah, all about DJ Burns. Dude, Kevin Keats just rolling. Was at UNC Wilmington before this. He's been wanting to be at this role. Man has gotten himself a 2-year extension. He's gotten him raises. He's gotten bonuses. I'm all about more money. So let's get after it, NC State. Uh,
Yeah.
for the
Their
one.
football coach lives on Gaston.
He lives on
That's
Gaston.
what.
I would say that's like the local Gaston team. It's the closest one to the squad. You got Carolina Hurricanes, the red and the black. So all about that. So I'm with you there. That's about all I have to say on that game.
Yeah, same. And I think it's gonna be a fucking good one. I don't think anyone's really gonna blow them out either way. So I do like that plus money spread, but I definitely would be doing a little something on the money line.
I don't blame you, man. I respect the confidence. I respect the confidence. I think knowing that that's like the last, no, that's the first game of
That's
Friday, right?
Yep.
Um, okay. Yeah, I think that's probably why. If that was a late night game, I bet you I would hammer that money line. I think knowing that's the first game personally, 6.5, because every first game that I bet this weekend was all wrong. The first game, every single one. And then I started hitting, and I was like, oh, here we go. So I'll get mad. And then I started hitting, and I was like, oh, I just suck at that 8-9 game that
Stay
starts.
away from
Yeah,
me.
so fuck it. So I like that. Okay, 6.5. Let's move on to the next game. Zaga, Purdue. Purdue's getting they're -5 and then over under is 154. Um, I'm really torn, but I'll just kind of say my piece real quick. I think it's gonna be real close, but I'm leaning Zags with the points. Like I think it's gonna be close, and I have a hard time not taking the 5.5. I don't feel confident on Purdue money line, and I've watched Zach Edey just fuck shit up. And I know they've been playing well. Don't get me wrong, but Utah State and uh, damn, I'm not trying to disrespect the 16. Grambling. Um, I think Purdue's better, but at the same time, it's not gonna be. They're not gonna win by more than 5 in this game. Gonzaga's been rolling. So that's all I have. Just +5.5, maybe a sprinkle on the money. I feel now about Gonzaga because I've always been on Gonzaga. Just I went on
Right.
Marys this year. St. Mary's was just my team this year.
Ever since what Morrison, right?
Yep, yep, exactly. And so I'm gonna switch. I'm gonna hop on Gonzaga right now, and some people listening might hear that as a reason to fade them. And if they win money off me, then great, send me a Venmo for half. But if not, I'm gonna go with Gonzaga. I think they do keep them in check, and I think the way they play caters really well to the way Purdue plays. So I think they're able to defend them well. I think they can attack Edie enough, and Mark Few's a good, smart basketball mind and I think he'll find a way to defend Edie. So that's my take.
Yeah, no, Mark's a fantastic coach. So, I mean, they do look very good. Um, it's hard not to do that 5.5. I maybe I do. What was the over?
154.
Okay, I was gonna say 3. I kind of like that over low key.
I
I think it
definitely
might be kind of a high. I like the. I think they're gonna be high scoring. They're both gonna put up some points. I think both of their stars are gonna do something. Edie might have like a 20 and 20, and just be like, yeah, like you guys say I'm soft and all this shit. Like I'm right here. You,
I
you
mean,
you might see it, but like Twitter a lot is just like Zach Edey when it's time to like win a game, and it's just like the stupid memes and just like a frog dancing or some shit, you know. But um, yeah, I think Purdue gets through though. If I had to say, just who wins, Purdue.
yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's fair. I think I hope that line gets longer and goes to like a 6.5 or something. I bet you it doesn't. I bet it ends at like 4, if I had to guess. Um, but yeah, so that being said, let's get 5.5 while we can. Um, yep, and that's why we're supposed to be sharps, Max. We get those odds before they get shittier. So that's why we're here. That's why we're trying to help the people. We're giving it to you Tuesday night, technically. So if you're just waiting for us to upload Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, you've got plenty of time to lock these in before things get crazy on Thursday night. Because you know they will. You know they're going to change like within a half full point, just based on whatever's coming in. People are still recovering from the weekend before they start locking in these bets. Um, but yeah, so next one. I think this is going to be the best game of the entire weekend. I think that I'm really having a hard time not taking Duke. Max, just I'll let you run this one. Am I overcompensating for how much Duke beat the fuck out of my fucking JMU Dukes, or is Duke really rolling right now and they're not stopped? So let me hear that shit.
No, I've been saying that I haven't switched up anything, and a little while back I realized that I did, and it was solely this game, and this was the only game I switched up. Um, Dude, they do. Houston has kind of struggled their whole way through. Not well, you know what I mean. But I just don't think they've looked like the Houston that looked the first half of the season, which happens to a lot of teams. And Duke didn't look isn't looking like what they looked like the first half of the season. They're looking quite fantastic. I think Jared is, he's a fun guy. He's all over social media singing and all that shit. People might not like it. I think it's fun. I think it brings a little joy to the team. They get stuff going. But it's JMU, you could say, but dude, they did. They just looked very fucking solid. And coming into this game against Houston, who had a rough one against A&M, I just can't see Duke not getting through. I don't know. It would be you shit on them all year, you doubt them all year, and you're like, no, it's tourney time. We just needed to get to the tourney, and then we're okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got
Okay.
them versus Duke versus NC State in the Elite Eight.
When we love to see that. That would be
Yes, we.
awesome. Um, you know how they do the halftime full-time one? I
Hmm.
think you know what I think would be a really good one right now? is a Houston Duke one. And you know what that odds are? Plus
Ooh,
650.
this is just money lines, right?
Yeah, it's Houston money line halftime and Duke to lead at the end of the game.
Fuck.
I think that's awesome. I think Houston could start off not like I think it'll be like Houston like 2 points, and then I think Duke's gonna win by like two or three. Like, but but I think Duke makes adjustments and then is able to do it. So I'm gonna call that plus 650. I sprinkle that. I mean,
I think I really
If you want Duke, then Duke, it's plus 240. So
no. Yeah,
that's
that
I
would.
don't know.
But at that point, if Houston isn't winning, I'll probably just double down on Duke money. I like that.
You
I like
do, or you just do Duke money line at first half plus 136.
no, I like that. The first one. I think that is. I think, and then Shire will fucking get him to the locker room, and be like, "All right, we saw what they can do. Now let's just stop them."
Yep. And I hate to say this, but maybe what's his name? Is Roberts hurt? Is he out right now for Houston?
Let me see if I can try to find that.
I because so here's my theory is that maybe Roberts, if he is able to play, he might not be able to go full game. Also, I could totally I mean, did you see Duke? And not to bring this game back up and just be a masochist and torture myself here, but the Duke game, the Duke JMU game, they went right at Terrence Edwards, our best player, right away and got him in two fouls in the first like 4 minutes. Like Duke could also
Yeah,
do the same thing. I could see them going at dudes like and being if they are as physical as they were against JMU against Houston, I don't know that Duke. I mean, I might do a Duke plus 15 and a half or minus 15 and a half parlay, like to win by 15 and a half. Like, I don't know, man. I think Duke is just on another planet right now. And I'm not really sure. Houston's goddamn good, don't get me wrong, but I don't know.
yeah. Um, I can't. You said Roberts, right?
Yep.
I can't see anything. When I click on news, it's like fucking like regular season shit. So
Oh, did I say the odd? Did I say the lines? Or did you say the lines minus four and 134 and a half?
no, I don't think so.
Anything. I mean, I'm gonna go probably Duke.
-4, Houston.
Mm-hmm. I'll probably do plus four and plus 160 money line for Duke.
I like that.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. And then the halftime full time.
Yeah.
But okay. All right. Well, glad to know I'm not overcompensating. You want to get on to the last Sweet 16 game and then maybe just throw in our we'll do our Sweet 16 and then who we think will be in the Final Four and kind of do I guess you could call it what do they call it, a retake? That's what they
Second
call it.
chance,
A second chance, the kids are calling it these days. All right.
which we will. I've made a group, so I'll throw it out there.
Yep, yep.
Or
Put it
we'll,
on the
we'll throw it out there.
Yep, put it on the group thing. We'll have everyone listen.
Join. You just get nothing but
You probably
a.
won't be able to beat us. You probably won't be able to beat us.
If you beat us, I will shotgun on live cam.
We
Or no,
will. We will shock
I'll
them.
shotgun the podcast after the finals,
We'll do it together.
and I'll have your name written across my chest.
You heard it here first, folks. You heard it here first. I'll probably just Venmo you like $10 for a beer or something, but Max will do that. So that way we have both. How about that? How about that? I think I can manage that. I think I can swing that.
Yeah.
Sweet. Well, if you're actually listening and you do, and you beat us, then great. If you don't, if no one does it and it's just me and Max, then we both aren't doing either of those things. Just for
Oh
anyone.
yeah, I'm gonna write Sam's name on my chest. That's fucking
That's weird.
weird.
Yeah, that would be weird. All right.
Um,
Let's speaking of some maybe inbred states, let's talk about Nebraska and Tennessee. Oh shoot, are we recording? Sorry, sorry, my fellow friends. Um,
yeah,
Tennessee
that's it.
-3 over under 144. Max, where you going?
Creighton, Creighton all day, probably money line. Um, Another team that I got going far, got them going all the way. They've looked very solid. Tennessee still has also looked solid. They had a very good ending to their regular season. Um, but I don't know, dude. Creighton's fucking massive. They can shoot. They can just facilitate. They know what they're doing. Um, McDermott's a very solid coach. I just think that this is their year. I don't know. I don't think Tennessee can do it.
I don't hate it, man. I don't hate it. I think they got. I mean, you got Trey Alexander, Cole Brenner, you've got Baylor Shireman, like you've got Stephen Ashworth, like a bunch of good talent, man. Like,
And they spread the love, dude. All of them could get like
yeah,
20 points each, and you're just like, all right.
they're gonna have a hard time picking that. If they win that Final Four region, they're gonna have a hard time picking that Final Four region winner. Or
Yeah,
like most outstanding player, sorry, because they do that for each region.
yeah.
Uh,
I think first game was Caulk, and then second one was Ash.
okay, makes sense. So Shireman's probably due. Uh,
Yeah.
it's just how it works, man. Maybe I
Just
try
for
out.
leading score, not like
I actually think so. I think it is a big not I don't think it's Shireman. I think it's a big Trey Alexander game. Um,
yeah,
if I had to guess. But Dalton Connect, he also could pop off. So
connected, dude.
I'm excited for that game. Should be a great game. Um,
Second
I
best.
I have Tennessee in my championship game. So I think this is when we start having some differences here, Bubs. Um, And
Yeah.
yeah, I just ain't no stopping Obi Toppin slash Dalton Connect, they say. Um, but yeah, I love me some Tennessee. Give me all the beans. Um, However, I will say since this bracket has been created, I have been debating on and I'm proud of you for going with Creighton all the way. Because I think that's a pretty ballsy pick, but at the same time, I I was like Creighton, whenever Creighton, Tennessee will absolutely be Purdue. So I was like, I love both those teams. It's unfortunate they have to play each other at Sweet 16, but uh I think either way,
Yeah.
whoever wins that game is gonna be wrong. So I like that. I'll probably just play the money line and then see where we're at. Did you have a feeling on the over under? I forgot. I kind of leaned towards the under, but both teams went. Oh, actually, Creighton went over because they went to two overtimes, but
Yeah, I don't hate the under.
I could
I
see it
think,
lower scoring game.
yeah.
I'm trying to pull up last couple games that they played before that because I feel like uh, the last ones were a little tough. But yeah, so okay, so we're a little different there. So, let's just knock this out real quick. So on Saturday, we are gonna have the winner of let's see, we got the West and the East region. So the West and the East region, we're gonna have the left side of the bracket. So that
Yeah.
being said, who do you have getting to the Elite Eight, and who do you have going in the Final Four? And we'll just start with the East. We'll go top left.
Yeah. So UConn, Iowa State, and I got UConn coming out.
Yep.
Uh, don't hate that over game, whatever it is. And then UNC Zona, and I still have Zona coming out. I don't know. I just UNC. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't have much reasoning. It's just um, Zona's got to show us something. They got to show that they're not frauds, and they got to keep pushing. So, but they do have to get through Clemson. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I think that'll be a good test for him. And to be honest, I had Baylor in this. I had Baylor playing Zona, and I had Baylor beating Zona. But I thought that Baylor Zona game might have been the hardest decision I had to make in my entire bracket. But I have no problem with Zona now. So I agree with you there. I got UNC, and then I've got UNC beating Zona, but I had UNC winning the title in my bracket originally from our stuff and everything else. But I'm going to stick with that, and nothing has swayed me to think otherwise. So we'll go with that on the West, and then um, I've got UConn and Illinois in my bracket. I've got Iowa State already been made, but the way that Illinois has played the last couple games, I'll take that in a close game. We already talked about the plus or minus 5.5 or whatever. And then UConn, I got UConn beating Illinois. So UConn, UNC in the final four. And then Max, let me hear your South and your Midwest.
yeah. I did not mention my. I forgot. UNC beating Zona, but
Okay.
um, and where am I? Duke, NC State is what I'm sitting at. I am gonna stick with it. I don't care. Give me NC State. I almost said UNC. Give me NC fucking State over Duke. A little Tobacco Road action. They're still gonna make it to the Final Four. That's what they're gonna do. 11 seed sitting pretty. Absolutely love it. I don't know. I think Burns and Filipowski will just be going at it, and it's gonna be a fucking show. Um, God, I can't remember their guard's name off the top of my head, but I think Jesus, I did it again. NC State can match up pretty well against Duke and keep that pace, and maybe even bring them out of their comfort zone. So I think they match up pretty well, and they can get it done. Sticking with my gut on that one. Um, then I got Purdue Creighton. And again, I mean, I already foreshadowed. I told you it's going to be Creighton beating Purdue. Just Cam Jones versus Zach Edey versus 4, 5 very solid starters. Not to take away from Purdue other starters. It's kind of mean, but give me Creighton all day, and give me Creighton all day versus NC State. That's Final Four is where NC State gets a little tired. They get super happy, um, coming off that high again, kind of like I mentioned for whatever other team I talked about, Yale. But uh, NC State's like, fuck, we made it to the Final Four. Like, let's fucking go. And then they run into Creighton, and Creighton is just kind of dominant over them. And they are playing UConn in the championship.
Okay. Okay. I like that. Shit.
Still
Man.
have it as is for that. I'm sorry. So far, I'm knocking on wood. I mean, my elite eights are looking decent right now. So everything can, knock on wood, go through okay. I can finish out pretty well.
Yep. That's kind of where I'm at. Yep, I could potentially get 6 of 8 sweet, or I got 10 of 16 sweet 16s. I could get 6 of 8 elite eights and 3 or 4 final fours, but Kentucky obviously fucked me. So I get a nice little redo on the South. Duke over Houston, and then give me, damn it, I just had them. Give me Marquette over NC State. I like, if I'm picking just money line, I have a hard time picking NC State, but I think I like, if I'm gonna probably play it. I'm gonna go a little chalk on that one. To be honest with you, it doesn't matter. I have Duke getting to the Final Four over Marquette. And then I've got Purdue beating Gonzaga, like we said, plus 5.5. Still like that, but if I gotta just go straight up money line, Like if I'm going plus whatever for plus 210 for Gonzaga or whatever, give me Purdue money line. And then I've got Tennessee over Creighton, like we said. So Creighton over Tennessee over Purdue, and then I've got Tennessee over Duke with a UNC beating Tennessee in the final. Same thing as what happened before. And then did you mention your final?
Creighton, UConn, Creighton winning.
Yep. Okay. Battle of the Big East. I like it. Of course, luckily we'll see how the Sweet 16 Elite Eight happens, and then we'll get another redo next week for our Final Four and our champion on Saturday and Monday. And don't worry, Max, I've been researching what time we're supposed to get home on the bus on Saturday to make sure that we can get home in time for both Final Four games. So better believe Saturday we're going to be doing that, John. I think we get home right at tip off of the first game of the Final Four because it's in Phoenix. So I think it starts at 5.
There.
Uh, yep, 5 and 7:30. So beautiful. Wait,
I
no,
mean,
is Phoenix 2 or 3 hours? They're 2.
they're mountains at two.
Yep. Okay. Cool. So then we're good. So yep, 5 and 7:30 right now. So we'll be home right at 5 is like at our house at 5.
Okay.
So
And
yeah,
then run home. Let Hester out. All right, we'll get it done.
yeah, run home and then come back over, or we'll go out somewhere.
Yeah, we'll
All
figure it
right.
out.
Love it, love
Fuck yeah.
it. That's enough college hoops. Max, I know I don't you want to get into UFC picks first and then we get into a little opening day?
Yeah. Before we venture off away from so-called college basketball, I got a quick public announcement right here for those
Uh,
watching. We see that flag. Um, Last night, former West Virginia women's basketball manager here, um, paying attention to this Iowa West Virginia game and rooting my ass off. Just very, very unfortunate with how these calls went. I know not many people are going to hear this rant, but I was an absolute fan of Caitlin Clark. Granted, I didn't watch every single game, um, but I come when big games for her are on, I tend to watch them, and I just I don't, dude, she's a fucking amazing ball player. And this is by recency bias against my team. But fuck, dude, why does she in Iowa have to get all these fucking calls for them? And just, it just pisses me off. This is crazy. It's
dude,
crazy. I mean, I love LeBron and I'll even bring him up. Like he whines like a motherfucker. He whines so much. Fouls that he thinks he should get that he doesn't. We see the same in her. So it's just I don't know. It's just those things. I don't want to get too much into it, even though I kind of already
30 to
have.
5, 30 to 5
Yeah,
free
I
throw.
mean, how the fuck are we only gonna get? I saw so many no calls for West Virginia, and it was insane. Push offs from Caitlin. One got called. I think there's definitely one other, maybe two. It just it sucks because West Virginia should have won this game, and it really came down to the last 5 minutes where Iowa ended up getting, I think, 16 free throws. We'll take away four. We'll take away four of those 16 because those last four free throws were intentional fouls to try to, come back. So that's 12 in the last 5 minutes. Um, just super shitty, and I hate to see it. And I know many people have saying that just social media is blowing up about it. I mean, they are. I looked at the Iowa State women's basketball Twitter. I'm gonna keep. I'll always call it Twitter. Um, they posted like sweet 16 or sweet victory, some shit like that. And the first like 10 comments were all like refs, like when the refs fucking like it. So it was crazy. Um, anyone who watched it and non-biased people that watched it were all like, what the fuck? So it sucks. Had to rant about it real quick. Um,
I don't.
but we got a lot of the girls returning, so we'll be back and won't have to deal with that Caitlin Clark bias next year.
I'm looking at like the biggest free throw disparity in NCAA men's basketball history, and this one guy's it's a Reddit thread, and he's like 32 to 11. He's like, it's got to be the largest you can find is 48. Like
And granted, I mean, this wasn't even talked about. No one probably even know, but West Virginia, I think, drew 35 fucking free throws against Princeton in round one. So like
ouch.
you're telling me this team just doesn't draw fouls. Like they fucking get in the paint. They get dirty. Sure, that's probably you could counter argument me with saying that they get down and dirty, and that's why they drew so many, but or fouled so much. But dude, like I'm pulling up, sorry. Um,
No, no, I'm listening. I'm listening. I'm trying to
we
pull it up.
had yeah, we had 36 free throws against Princeton. Like you're telling me that like all of a sudden we just don't draw fouls and like fouls just what was round one just bullshit? But were the refs in our favor for that one? No, because Princeton still had 21. That's still a big difference, but it's not 30 to fucking 5. So I'll even give you 26 to 5. Fine. Because the last four again are drawing for the last couple seconds. But dude, it was insane. It was just shit. It really made me
That's
not
a
like it.
huge, that is a, I mean, dude, that is legit. They lost by 10, and that's legitimately I mean, not that you're going to assume everyone's made, but I don't know. I think they were
We
20,
went 3 for
30.
5 and they went like 27 for 30 or something.
Yeah, I think it was, yeah. So they made 20 more free throws than you, and it had nothing to do with your, like, that's just, I mean, that's the difference. So, um, I will say that, I feel like women's college hoops, like they gotta have Caitlin Clark in there.
They do. The script is written, unfortunately.
Like I don't know. That's like a
I'll
weird.
say it. You don't have to.
Yeah, yeah. That one was a tough one. When I saw the box score, I was like, dude, like that's just like.
Even worse if you watched that fucking game. You would
I'm
see
glad I didn't because I might have broken all my TVs, and I would have never not even put money on it. Like that's how
like
much.
10:30 and I was screaming in my fucking apartment. And I was just, dude, this
Yeah,
is insane. I don't even care. This is
yeah.
bullshit. Really
Uh,
made me dislike her, and I do like her. She's a fucking insane ball player. She shot 8 for 22, and ESPN is almost almost said a bad term. Is just fucking just
Stupid.
no. I don't even have to say it. It's just
Yeah, it's just one day
worship.
I'll figure it out.
Um,
On to UFC or whatever you got for us.
on to my favorite girl in the world, um, Erin Blanchfield. She is the best. Um, I love her, but she is minus 190 back in her hometown against Fiot, um, Frenchman, who's very solid. She's 11-1. Blanche is 12-1. Um, Blanche is in the same kind of, well, she's done the same jujitsu as me, scientific wrestling. Shout out that squad in the same school. But she easily, I'm gonna rant while I look it up. She's got this easy. That minus 190 is fine. If you want to parlay it with like some random NCAA bet, but for her to come within the distance. Jesus, fucking ad. Um, like a sub, dude, just sub in general. I absolutely do not hate. She's a fucking dog. Um, but KO. You know what? That's why they don't even have it up because it's fucking Tuesday night. Um, Give me that double chance TKO sub. I don't hate just the single sub. She's done it in her last four, or I'll say 3 out of 5. She's done it. I don't know. I said four. Her last 3 out of 4, 3 out of 5. Um, she submitted. Um, went to decision the other two, but I think she can easily get the sub. So that's why I'd say single that. But also you get that ground and pound. She could easily just hit her with an elbow while grappling and then get that TKO.
Okay,
So
I like that.
um, Blanche gonna get it done. I think it's still only a 3 rounder. But still. Give me that all day. I love that girl. She's fucking awesome. Oh, it's a 5 rounder.
Okay,
So even better.
yeah, why
Even
not?
better. More chance for that fucking sub. She's a dog, dude. She's New Jersey. I mentioned it's Atlantic City from New Jersey. Um, her pro debut was in Atlantic City. It wasn't a UFC debut, but it was her pro debut. I think it's her first time back in that in Atlantic. So give me that all day. And
Why not?
then um, only other one I have is Vincent Luque versus Joaquin Buckley.
Yeah,
Um,
if I saw that, I was gonna ask about that.
Give me Buckley money line minus 105, or you could just do like TKO KO,
Buckley
um,
-105.
or do that but with decision. Just make a double chance. It'll still probably be plus money. So um,
Okay.
yeah, I like that. I've seen he's been training. Luque is a good fucking fighter, but Buckley's got that just kind of um like almost like Jack Della Mandela, just kind of one punch, or I don't know, Paulo Costa type. Uh,
Yeah, yeah. And then this Weidman thing, anything from that? Because I feel like Chris Weidman's been around for 3 decades at this point.
yeah, I wouldn't hate that. This most likely decent shot that this is his retirement fight.
Can we
Um,
bet that?
Kind of like a, no, I don't think so. But little Robbie Lawler action, like he gets this win and puts the gloves down. So a little plus money never hurt nobody.
I dig it. I dig it. Anything else from that card?
No, I think we're good. Did love watching people beat the shit out of each other. So always
Yeah,
going to be
can't.
a good card. What?
I mean, we're winding down with March Madness. Like, we need some other shit to, keep us going till football. So, UFC and golf and baseball will absolutely get us there.
This is yeah. I mean, this is a 10 o'clock main card, so you could kind of do a little two TV action maybe.
Okay. Okay. I dig it. I dig it. I don't know where we'll be. We'll probably be, I won't be in bed. I'll be watching. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what we'll be doing. I don't know either. So
We could figure it out. We'll figure it out. Last but certainly not least, we've got opening day coming up. Uh, what was it? Thursday. Thank you. I was like looking at my dates. I was like, oh my God, we're already at opening day. Like, what is going on?
yes.
But we're there. Cubbies, nice. I should have probably thought about that. I know we don't have Sean here, so um, we'll have to get with him next week and get first takes and any, futures that still might be eligible. But Cubbies Rangers, 7:35 on Thursday. Justin Steele, it looks like it's getting a start. How are we feeling, Max?
Um, you know, coming off of or not really coming off, uh starting off with the defending champs of the World Series. A little scary, but I love Steele. I think he can, as always, kind of showed last year that he is him and knows what he's doing. I think our starters is very solid. We got Belly back. I would assume we probably got the Belly Hat Suzuki start for the outfielders, and Morel. I don't know if he's going to be at third base yet, but Mastrobino at three, probably Morel second, Dansby short, um, probably like or actually no, we'll get Horner at second, Morel or Wisdom probably DH. Um, I I I I don't know. I don't hate it at all. I think our lineup's very solid, can all hit very well. It's not like any of these guys really Wisdom kind of does, but no one else really like is like a power, like I'm gonna fucking swing for the fences type, you know. Um,
Yep.
I think we're all just a bunch of solid ass hitters and we'll get shit done. Um, not more so, not really talking about Thursday, but just for the
In,
year. I'm
in
super excited.
general. Yeah, yeah. Oh
I
no,
just
we
super
whatever we want to hit baseball. And yeah.
excited. Um, But yeah, no, I think I'm very excited. I like our team a lot this year. Suzuki, if he can stay healthy, is going to be huge for us. Absolutely.
Yep.
So
Yep.
we got Belly back, pitching, uh, solid. Nothing crazy, nothing too terrible. Shota and Manga probably botched that. um, he will
Maybe.
be very solid. It would be interesting to see um, how he does come regular season. But, you know, excited, very excited. I think our division is going to be, we're not going to have the best coming out of our division, but we got very, very solid. I mean, Pirates have looked good. Granted, this is um, spring training, but Pirates have looked good. We've looked solid. Milwaukee, Cardinals are always the team to be sneaky, even though they're really poopy. I fucking hate them. Yeah,
Maybe.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Um, Shohei at the Dodgers. We don't have to go too much because we'll have
I was
Sean
gonna
back.
say,
So,
yeah, I feel like
but
we'll
like
figure
all the
out
new
what's going
faces
on.
on new teams will be fun to see. Yeah, I'm actually I said it last year too, but this year I'm actually just like actually ready for this. I'm gonna be all fucking all in.
Yeah.
Chips are all
Yeah. No, I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I'm like, all right, just get me through let me get through March Madness and then I can fully commit. But you know me, I obsess over one sport at a time and I can't focus on other stuff until that's done. So uh that's just good old OCD. Um Sweet, man. Well, yeah, we'll get into those. I like the UFC picks. Anything else for the weekend? I mean, I know we got the Houston Open, so we'll put any picks we like, we'll just post from the account. And no, I haven't even looked at it, so I'm not going to talk about it now. But anything else you like for the weekend, or shall we get ready for Thursday?
no. Buddy's back from international break. So
Nice. Yeah.
back to that. We'll have that before our late games on Saturday starts. So
Give me everything. Give me all the sports on the weekend. Give me all of
throw
it.
it all at us.
I'm here. I'm here for it. So awesome. All right, dude. Well, pleasure as always. Thanks everyone for listening, and we will see you soon. Go Cubbies, and everyone have a good weekend.
Yep. Love you guys.
Love you guys.